Hello, welcome. I'm so excited to be here today to do this video for you guys. I feel like I've been wanting to do one for you guys for like ever, but the stars just did not align until this now moment, and that's fine. It is what it is. I did do a video for you guys back in August about unconditionally loving Donald Trump, yes. But after that, I was directed by my guides to go inward more and keep clearing baggage and doing that deep healing of the inner child and shadow work. And yeah, it required a lot of energy, so I needed to take care of that, priorities, before I could come on here and offer you guys my energy signature for free. So I'm just so excited that it's finally here. The day is today. I did not wake up today and say I was gonna make a video, but my guides were like, "You're gonna make a video, honey." I was like, okay. So right now I am not even at my house. I'm not with my regular setup. I have a little bit of a ghetto setup right now. I'm at my boss's house sitting. It's very nice. It's very luxurious, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I feel like it's divine because there's so much going on out there in the world, especially like in the energy of the city of Chicago. And so how nice is it that I can be completely alone in this giant condo for January and just protect my energy. It feels right. So I figured now is the perfect time to come online. My vibe has been feeling really good. I wanted to make sure that I was feeling like tip-top, high vibe shape for you guys when I came on here. So where do we begin? Yes, you guys, 2020 was one of my favorite years ever. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, but it really shaped me and who I am today. And it really brought me back to my truth. It really took me home. It reminded me of why I came here. It showed me what my mission and purpose is on this planet and what I even came here for. Like, what am I even doing here? You guys, 2020 showed me everything that I could not see. It completely woke me up to the truth of who I really am. And it was just amazing. It was really intense, yes. It was dark at times for myself also, but it was all completely part of the divine plan. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for 2020 enough. Magic. Magic is one word to describe 2020. I felt like I kind of went into a cocoon. And 2021 kind of feels like breaking out of the cocoon and becoming the butterfly and coming online. And my warrior heart has been activated, and it's like, come on, like, let's go in the spiritual war. Like, let's kick some dark entity ass. No, but you know how you kick a dark entity's ass? You love the fuck out of it. So that's what I am. I am here to love you and all beings and entities, and I'm just here to project so much love onto the earth plane. And yes, that is exactly what I'm gonna do today. So what should we do to begin? First of all, let's set the vibes. We gotta get rid of any dark energy lingering around. Sometimes when I want to do something to stand in my power, a lot of entities hang around my energy field, trying to get in my cracks and convince me to not do a video, convince me to not speak my truth and stand in my power. And a lot of the times before it's worked, but not today, Satan. We love you. We love you, Satan. But not today. Today I'm going to speak my truth. Today I'm gonna project some love for you guys. So, first of all, I want to acknowledge that I am aware that I may look like, to some who've known me for a long time, before 2020, I may look like I've lost all my marbles. I may look like I've gone a little cuckoo. And I'm here to say, I see you. I hear you. I know that it looks like that, and I can't blame you for feeling that way about me, because there are people that would act like this before I was like this, and I would be like, what is wrong with them? Oh my god. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I would be like, even if I wasn't aware of it at the time, I would judge these people and think they were crazy. And the whole time, I just had not remembered who I was yet. So I just want to say that I am totally fine if you're generally worried or genuinely worried about my well-being. Thank you. That's very nice of you. I'm okay. Actually, I'm better than I've ever been. I am feeling really good, like better than I've ever felt. Yeah, so thank you for your concern. I'm totally good and I feel great. I want to say also that my intention for this video and every video that I ever do and anything that I ever post on social media or share in any way, shape, or form, my intention for that is never to convince you that my way is the only way, that my truth is the right truth and your truth is the wrong truth. I'm not here to shame you if you feel completely opposite of everything that I say. I'm not here to judge you. Like, I really am just so happy for you as long as you're happy. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not to convince you. I think in the past, and I recently put something out there about this, that I feel like maybe I was trying to convince people that my was the right way, or my knowingness was the right knowingness, or whatever. But that is not my intention whatsoever at all anymore in this now moment, or any now moment after this one. My intention is just to share a perspective, just to show you my version of truth, just to give it to you for free, in case that it might be helpful to you along your own spiritual path or journey in any way. Just to give you access to seeing a different choice. So right now on the earth plane, it is complete and utter chaos. If you haven't noticed, a lot is going down at the moment. A lot went down in 2020, and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, or news in general, but it's going to get more crazy, guys. 2021 is going to be very crazy, much crazier than 2020. And I'm here to show you a different way to go about it, a different way to handle it, a different way to perceive it. I think, the media gives you one choice. I think the media really wants us to be afraid and stressed out and feel like everything is out of control, and that a sense of doom. And I get that it looks like that. Like, it definitely, that's what they should give to us to see. They don't give us any positive outlook on it. But I'm here to give you that positive outlook. I'm here to show you that you have a choice. You have a choice how you react, or you have a choice to not react at all. You have a choice to tune it out, to go inward and to find what makes your soul happy, and to just thrive in your own bubble. And I'm here to give you just a window into my reality and how I do things and how I see things and how I feel about things. And I'm just here to share all of that with you generously and freely, because a lot of people, when I was waking up to my truth in 2020, I had a lot of people that I watched that would share their truths and their perspectives and show me a different choice, and that helped activate freedom and love and euphoria and all kinds of amazing things in me. And so I want to give back and do that for others, and so that's what I'm here to do. And that is my intention. My intention is to be of service to others. My intention is to be unconditional love for anyone and everyone, regardless of your story, regardless of your dark side. I'm here to love you. I'm here to shine light on you. I'm here to give you my light. I'm here to be honest. I'm here to be really honest with you, very vulnerable with you. I'm going to talk about my own darkness and my own scars, and I'm going to let you guys see into my soul. And in hopes that it might help you. And sometimes I know that, and I know that I do, and I have triggered people and made people angry and stirred people up, and sometimes that will happen. And I just want to say that if you resonate with my truth, then awesome. I'm so happy that I could help you in a way that's positive. If it's pissing you off, anything that I'm saying, if I just seem crazy and batshit to you, and that you just keep getting triggered, then you have the free will to leave and not watch this and not like follow me on social media and not be in my life even. And I don't judge you if you choose not to be in my life and not to follow me and not to watch these videos. And I don't get offended by you if you don't approve of my truth. I've been somebody before who really cared what people think, and it's really new for me. I'm not gonna lie, like this is something I'm still mastering, and I wouldn't say that I have it completely figured out yet, but I'm really, since that 1221 portal, like my warrior heart is awakened, and I just feel like, damn, I really don't care anymore. I really don't care. As long as I'm happy and it feels good, then I'm good. And I just want you guys to honor yourselves and do what's best for you at the end of the day. And so if it resonates, great. If I don't resonate, great. Either way, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you. Even if you hate me, I love you. And it feels great to be there. It feels great to really be there, to love everyone and everything. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. I'm not really sure what I'm going to name this video yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be like, take back your power, raise your frequency. Oh my God. This girl has a really fancy desk that moves when you like press buttons. I don't know what's going on in this rich house. Maybe I'm getting a little peek into my future. Maybe this is helping me manifest my luxury home. I don't know. Okay, really quick, I'm gonna burn just a little bit more Palo Santo. We don't want any entities around, guys. We're gonna talk about those little entities in a second. I love Palo Santo and sage. Right now there's a spiritual war going on, guys, so we need to be conscious of the fact that these entities are lingering around, waiting to pounce at any given moment. And we need to be aware of them, not to like get frustrated or react to them trying to come at us. Just to shine some light on them and love them, and they'll go away. They don't like that, so. All right, that feels better. I can literally feel when I burn like Palo Santo or sage, the energy just getting so much lighter. Okay, so today, I need to limit, like, I have a tendency to like talk and talk and talk. Talking is my jam since I was like little. I'm a Gemini, we love to communicate. I do believe in astrology. It's a thing. My mission is to speak my truth. And I believe that that's because, well, first of all, I'm a starseed. I'm a Palladian. I'm an Arcturian starseed. I got my little bracelets going on right now. And I incarnated on planet Earth to basically help raise the frequency of the planet during this very dark age of the planet. And many, many, many lifetimes I've been training for this specific lifetime going on right now. And for this specific time period in this lifetime, this is like the moment that I've been training for and waiting for hundreds of thousands of years in so many different incarnations. And in so many incarnations before this one, lifetimes, aka, I was killed, I was silenced, I was canceled, I was shunned. So many different lifetimes I was imprisoned for being my truth, for speaking my truth. And so in this lifetime, I'm coming online to share with you guys, partly to service others and also simultaneously to clear the karma of those lifetimes before this one where I was not treated fairly. And this is the one where love is going to win and light is going to prevail. I don't even know words, you guys, but I love to speak, but I'm not good with like big words. But light wins, guys. Spoiler alert, in the spiritual world, light wins. It's already said and done. It's happening. I have an all-knowing knowingness that the light is going to win. So if you feel like a sense of doom, if you feel like everything's chaotic on the earth plane right now and it looks like everything's totally dark and dreary and out of control, just keep in mind that, of course, that's what they want you to see. They're trying to control us. They're trying to suppress us. They don't want us to know how powerful we really, truly are and that we can fight back and that we have a choice. So just realize that that's an illusion and that the light is going to win the war and love wins. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry. Okay, so today I want to give you guys a tool. I'm gonna press the button again and then it's gonna move the desk. Okay, I wanna give you guys a tool to help make your experience in life a little bit smoother. So it's a little inner GPS system. And it's the way that you can kind of navigate your life and your choices and your experience and what you create in your hologram is frequency. It's by reading and tapping into the frequencies of everything and everyone around us. So literally anything that you can think up of in your mind, like that you can think up in your mind, anything. It could be an idea. It could be a person, a place, a thing, or even an idea. Anything that you can literally think up in your mind. It holds a frequency. It holds energy. And everything is energy. So, basically, how you can navigate and make your experience a little bit smoother, long story short, is you can tap into those frequencies, read them, feel what's there, and make a choice that feels lightest to you, okay? So I have some notes here, and so if I'm looking down, that's why. All right, so let's see, where should I begin? Okay, so dance break, you guys, little dance break. All right, so first of all, let's just talk about what's going on the planet really quick. So right now, the planet is ascending from a 3D reality to a 5D reality. A third dimension density to a fifth dimension density. 3D is very fear-based. It's very lack. It's very trying to control things. It's dark. It's dark. It's limiting, very limiting. And then there's the 5D, and that's all unconditional love and truth and light. And it's heaven on earth, and that's where we're headed to. So the good news is, even if things are crazy right now, this now moment, we're really headed towards heaven on earth. It's happening now. Actually, it's already here, and we can tap into that. And I'm already tapping into my own heaven on earth, and I want to give you guys the tools that you need to get you to your own heaven on earth also. So right now what's happening is the planet is ascending. And I'm not going to go into the stories of the origin stories of like what happened, how did this planet get hijacked in the first place, how did we become such a dark prison planet in the first place. Not today, I'm not going to do that. But right now, massive amounts of light are coming down to the planet through the central sun and the regular sun. And a lot of solar flares are happening, and what the light is basically doing is it's causing a lot of chaos. So when a lot of light comes down, what does that do? It lights up, it illuminates everything that is hiding, right? So just like a match in a dark room, that's going to light up the entire dark room, even if it's just this small little match. So right now we have massive amounts of light coming down to the planet, and what's happening is it is upgrading the entire Earth plane and everything that inhabits it. So every ant, every tree, every being, everything is getting a massive upgrade. And so this light is coming down into our bodies, and it's causing anything that's vibrating frequency-wise, anything less, vibrating less than unconditional love and truth and light, is rising up to the surface so it can be seen, so it can be identified, so we can be made aware of it, and then so it can be purged out in some way, shape, or form. So that's kind of why we're seeing a lot of chaos on the earth plane right now. So much light is coming down, and it's causing things to go whack. It's causing chaos. It's causing drama. It's causing things to be exposed. Ultimately, inevitably, that's where we're headed to, a lot of exposure in 2021. It's going to be a crazy ride, guys, so hold on for your life. But yeah, so on 12/21, that marks the December 21st, 2020 was the first day of the age of Aquarius, the age of love. We're moving out of the age of Pisces, the age of dark, and we're moving into the age of Aquarius. I don't know if you guys have seen that Hair musical or heard the song, let the sun shine in, let the sun shine in, the sun shine in. Oh, that is the jam. And do you know what band plays that song? The Fifth Dimension, guys. They knew the whole time. They knew that this was happening, and I just figured this out last year. So this is a real thing, guys, and it's happening now to every single one of us. So we're ascending, guys. So everything is going to hold a frequency, and so our frequencies are constantly changing every now moment to now moment. We're evolving. I mean, who I was, the frequency that I was holding yesterday is different than the frequency that I'm holding even today. That's how fast we're moving. And like, for example, the frequency that I was holding 5 years ago was really dark and heavy. And now my frequency is super light and just bouncy and bubbly and just whoop. Yes, we're doing the thing. I was very depressed and dark and hijacked back in 2015. So we're constantly changing our frequency and upgrading it. And so we're kind of just like all on this bridge to this new earth, and we're just upgrading and up-leveling and leveling up and away. And so our frequency is getting lighter and lighter and lighter as we purge out more and more of that heaviness and baggage and programming and trauma that's no longer serving us. So we all have these really powerful psychic abilities. We all can do this. It's not like, oh, there's psychics and there's not psychics. We actually are very, very powerful, interdimensional, hybrid beings, and we have this DNA within us that just is not turned on yet, but it's turning on now with the assistance of the light that's coming down and just people, spiritual teachers that are activating that DNA, and things that we're seeing are just forcing that DNA to come online. And so we can all tap into frequency though. That's like a pretty basic ability that I think most of us have always been doing from the beginning of our lives. And maybe we just weren't like very conscious of it, but lots of times you might have had like a gut feeling about something, or, my sister comes home, for example, like with a new boyfriend, and I don't think his frequency is good or whatever. That's just a made up example. It's not real, but I'm just saying, like, that's an example of reading an energy. Like, you might not realize, you might not be saying to yourself, oh, I'm tapping into the frequency of my sister's new boyfriend, and he doesn't feel like he's of the light, or you're not maybe doing that, but you might have a bad feeling about something. Or you might have just like a gut feeling about something. Like if your sister's pregnant, if she's gonna have a boy or a girl. You might just have a feeling, tapping into the frequency of her baby, that it might be a boy or it might be a girl. So we all have this really basic ability, and it's pretty underrated how we can use that ability to kind of help us have a smoother experience through life. So I kind of want to do a little exercise with you guys. Really quickly, but I do want you to just take a moment to silence your egos and silence your minds and just try to feel the energy of the words that I give you. So, quick drink of water, and then we're gonna go into it. So let's take a couple of deep breaths, and I just want to say before we begin, some of the words, actually, these ones aren't so much very triggering, but some words or things that we hear, like we might have, like for example, let's just use Donald Trump because everybody has an opinion about Donald Trump, right? So if you have an opinion about him though, like that, what was that formed based on? It could have been like things you heard about him in the media. It could have been lots of different reasons why you might have an opinion. That's not necessarily reading the energy of Donald Trump. That's just forming an opinion and making like an ego-based judgment. What I want you to do is silence your mind and your ego. So I want you to try to connect to your heart and kind of just feel the energy, like just your gut feeling, like the first thing you feel when I say these words. So let's take a couple of deep breaths, and then I will just say a couple of words, and then you can feel the energy of those words and just see what that feels like. Like if maybe you might have this ability whole time you didn't realize. All right, so let's take like 3 deep breaths. All right. Okay. So find your heart center, turn off your mind. I'm just gonna say the words and then just pay attention to how you feel when hearing them. The first word is unconditional love. So what does unconditional love feel like? Great. The next word is hate. What is the frequency that hate holds? What does that feel like? Lovely. Okay. The next word is enemy. Best friend. Warrior. What does warrior feel like? I love that one. Okay, last one for now. This is kind of a funny one, but just pay attention. Like, even if you have an opinion about this next one, just try to pay attention to what does it feel like, this word. McDonald's. Like, what is the energy? What is the energy of McDonald's? Like, what does that feel like? Like, I don't feel like we ever take the time to feel the energy of McDonald's. Maybe we should. Oh, okay, great. That was fun. All right, moving on. So, there isn't a right or wrong to those words, like what it should feel like. Should it feel like it's a dark frequency, a dark energy connected to that word, or a light one? It's subject to the person tapping into those energies. Frequencies could feel different to different people. I truly believe that anything can be light and anything can be dark. There's a dark way to do things, there's a light way to do things. There's a way that you can transmute anything that's holding a dark frequency, and there's a way that you can do anything that holds typically a light frequency in a dark way. I do believe that. So there's not a right or wrong. It's not about right or wrong, black or white, left or right. It's not about that. It's just about the energy. It's just about truly silencing your mind and tapping into the frequency of situations, people, things. Like, say you're interviewing for a new job and you have all these different options of different places that you could potentially work. And you're very conflicted. You're very like, I don't know, like this might be good, or this could be good for a different reason, or this could be too much. If you just silence your mind and your opinions and your ego-based judgments on these different options, you could just try to tap into the frequency of each of those jobs. And you can just kind of decide which one feels the lightest to you or the most aligned. So I kind of gave like an example of something like a word or a thing that might be feeling differently based on who's reading the energy. So I said the word mom. And you could have been raised by a very nurturing and unconditionally loving, amazing mother. And when I say the word mom, it could make you feel all tingly and just butterflies inside. You might just feel very love, very high vibrational frequency in your center. But somebody else could have been raised by a very narcissistic, abusive mom who did not unconditionally love their child, and then it might not feel so high vibrational. So it's kind of like there isn't a right or wrong, it just depends on the person. Okay, so it is about what's the lightest choice for you to make in every now moment though. And that's what I'm getting at with this new tool, navigation tool, in our GPS system, where you can tap into the frequencies and make the choice that feels light to you. So okay. So what's going on the planet right now? It's being shown to us that it's very dark, what's going on the planet right now. There are a lot of dark things going on behind the scenes on the planet right now. And the way that this planet works is all of us separately, individually, are creating our collective reality by projecting our own frequency out into the collective. So every single one of us, this may be a little bit triggering, is responsible for what we see going on in the collective right now. Just think about that for a second. Every single one of us co-created our collective reality, what's happening right now on the planet. And we're responsible. And it's a spiritual war right now. It's the fight between light and dark. And I'm not going to lie to you right now and say that there are not dark things going on the planet right now. There definitely are. And there have been for so much time. Like I said, we were just in the age of Pisces. It was a very dark age where we were being controlled and manipulated by very dark beings that are on this planet at this time. But now that there's so much light coming down and our planet has been decreed to ascend, those things are no longer compatible with the new software. We're getting an update. We're getting a software update. We're moving into the 5th dimensional frequency. And no longer can evil exist at the same time as unconditional love. It's not welcome in the 5th dimension, and it's not coming with us. And so what we're seeing right now is those dark forces that don't want to leave the planet, that don't want to give up control because they've had control for so long. What we're seeing right now are them not wanting to leave and throwing tantrums and causing chaos and not going down without a fight. And the way that they control us is with fear. And that's been the way that they've controlled us for such a long time, like a really long time. There is 1% of the population right now is controlling the other 99%. At this time, they have the upper hand. And so they control us with fear. And they inject us with fear every single day via social media, number one, and the news. And the way that they present information to us, half the time it's just straight up lies. But then other times, it's just a little bit misleading, and it's fear-based. It's kind of like, you should be afraid, so you should do what we tell you to do. And so a lot of us right now are feeling fear. And we're projecting that out into the collective. Every single time that we vibrate in the frequency, the energetic frequency of fear, we project that out and we create more fear within the collective. So another tactic of these dark forces is to divide us, is to get us divided, is to get us fighting with our neighbors, with our friends, with our best friends that we've known since we were 2, to get us believing binary, one extreme and one extreme, to get us vibrating anger. When we're angry and reacting to the things going on in the world right now, we're projecting that out into the collective and creating more anger, more negativity, more division. And what we need, what we want, what our truth is to unify and heal, not to divide. And so the way that we fight back in this spiritual war is we remember who we are. We remember how powerful we are. We are the 99%. We outnumber them. They are the 1%. We are the 99%. And we are interdimensional hybrid beings. We are capable of so much more than they led us to believe. it kind of made us feel like we're just these humans. We just live and go to work and eat and sleep and indulge and die, and that we don't serve much purpose. It's just the way it is. That's all there is. They led us to believe that we're small. We're not small in the slightest. And we need to start remembering that and waking up to how powerful we truly are. We can create anything that we want to create. We have to come together to unite and heal this world by projecting love, unconditional love, and freedom out into the collective. And so, in a spiritual war, one of the best ways for them to control us is to get our vibe lowered, to get us vibrating anger, to get us vibrating shame and guilt, to get us vibrating fear. They know that if they can keep us vibrating low, that we will not wake up to who we are, that we will not become powerful, that we will be in our place and easily controlled. That is how the 1%, if you think about it, why was 1% controlling the whole 99% for so long anyway? That sounds kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? That's how they did it, with fear, with getting us to be a slave to fear. We were manipulated. And it's not easy to come to terms with this. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance when you start to come into this information. You deny that it's true because you're like, I don't want to believe it, because that would be traumatic. That would be really painful to discover that we've been used and abused, to the extent that we have been for so long. And it is. And I've definitely, as I say this, I'm not feeling happy about that. But I've done a lot of work, and I've dealt with it behind closed doors. And now I'm at the point where I understand that it's not helpful for me to be resenting them for what they've done, to be in a state of anger, because then I'll be projecting that out. I know that time is of the essence, and I know that I need to raise my vibration, raise my frequency. And that is how we fight back in the spiritual war. That is how we take our power back. So that is basically what I came here to tell you today. We need to raise our frequency. We need to stop looking at what they want us to look at, focusing on what they want us to focus on. Now, I can go into deeper detail in another video about what exactly happened. How did we get here? More details about all of the dark things. I can do that in another video. I just don't feel like that's really the point of this one. All you need to know is that everything in the media and everything that's going on right now is not what it seems. And we are being used as pawns in this war, if we're not aware of it, if we're not aware of any of this. So we need to wake up. We need to raise our vibe. That is how this planet is going to ascend. By us focusing on the love, focusing on what makes our souls happy, focusing on clearing the baggage, clearing the trauma, clearing the fear out of our systems, and rising. Just like if you had metal rocks tied to your ankles and you're at the bottom of the ocean, as you release those, you're gonna float to the top. You're going to rise. And so that's what we need to do. We need to raise our vibe. What we feel, we project. What we feel creates our hologram. If you guys want to have a smooth experience, if you want to activate your abundance, if you want to feel euphoria every single day, that's what I'm tapping into these days. I'm feeling euphoria every single day. And I know that's crazy to say because if you look out your window, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty dark looking, but I'm over here feeling euphoria. I'm here to show you that you have a choice. You can tap into this heaven on earth instead of this fear illusion that they want you to be living in. You don't have to live in that illusion any longer. You can be free. And so this is how you become free. You raise your vibration. It is that simple. It is that simple. You start listening to your heart. You start listening to your inner guidance. And when I talk about my guides, I'll do a whole nother video on that because I know that sounds like I'm hearing voices and I'm crazy. But I will explain the guides, basically spirit guides, higher self, whatever. We will talk about it all in another video. But if you want to start working with your own guides, because we all have a team of guides waiting to work with us, you just have to activate that. If you want to do that, you have to raise your vibration. The higher your vibe, the more you can hear your guides clear. So how can you raise your vibration? How can you raise your frequency? Let's talk a little bit about that really quick. Ways to raise your vibration. Laugh or cry. And I know crying sounds like that's sad. Why would you want to be sad? Doesn't that hurt? Doesn't that project sadness out into the collective? No. Crying is like completely something that the dark forces of this world made us feel ashamed to do. I'm pretty sure that in several of the videos that I put out there, I'm going to be crying because it is so something that should be normalized. Crying is a way to move energy, to move stuck energy. Every single time we cry, we are healing something, whether it's from a past life or this incarnation. There's a lot of stuck energy that is keeping our vibe low that we need to move and clear out, move along. So laughing and crying, great ways to move the energy, great ways to raise the vibe. Service to others, that is like one of the best ways to raise your vibration, to give freely. And there's so many ways that you can do that. You can do that in so many ways. You can give money to a homeless person. You can have compassion for them. You can buy somebody Starbucks next in line behind you in the morning. You can do something like I'm doing right now. You can give a video. You can share some truth. That is like underrated how much that can raise your vibration. There are so many ways to be of service to others. Like if you can just think of one way every single day, even if it's very small, that you can be of service to others, and not in a way that you're doing it to get something back in return. So don't do it to get your vibe raised or to get something back in your karma or whatever. Just do it because you love. Just do it because you want to be of service to others. That will make you feel amazing instantly. Raise your vibe. Eating high vibe foods. Now, I'm not saying that like you can never eat McDonald's. For example, I use that as an example, but there's a way you can do anything in a high vibrational way. But there are high vibe foods out there, really rich high vibe foods that will help you raise your vibe. Right now, my guides have me off all dairy and I am pretty much plant-based. I still eat a little bit of fish every now and then, but I'm pretty plant-based at the moment, and I have to tell you, I feel incredible. It is underrated how much substances affect our vibration, no frequency. Limiting social media and news. You guys will be surprised if you just go like even one day without looking at social media or the news, or just significantly downsizing the time that you spend doing those things. Your vibe will go through the roof. I promise you. I promise you. Every single day that we watch the news, or I haven't watched the news in years, but some people do that every single day. And that's what they want you to be doing, because you're getting an injection of fear and manipulation and mind control every single time that you do that. And it is lowering your vibe, okay? Create something. Create something from start to finish. Create anything. It could be anything. It could be writing a song. It could be making a piece of artwork. It can be, I don't know, there's so many things that you can create. Like creating and getting yourself in a quantum state and losing track of time, something you can get lost in, is amazing for raising your frequency. Tell somebody you love them. We should be saying I love you like 80,000 times each day. Just saying. Make a list of things you are grateful for. Gratitude is like an instant key to the fifth dimension, you guys. It is, if you want to know how to get to the fifth dimension, if you want to end your suffering, say thank you in every single now moment. Literally everything. Like when everything is going crazy in the world, say thank you, because it is for the betterment of all. It is all in the highest good for all involved. It's movement. Even if it looks crazy, at least things are moving along. At least the collapses of these systems are happening. There's so many things to say thank you for every single now moment. And I'm not like a master at this. Like I definitely do get irritated or complain about my job from time to time or this or that, but I'm really learning to be more appreciative than anything else. Because most of us, before we start to kind of go on our spiritual path, we see the negative in everything before we see the positive. But try to just start becoming aware of what you're thinking day to day. And try to, when you notice you're thinking negatively, think of a positive about that thing and say thank you. So being grateful. I have a grateful journal. I would highly recommend a daily gratitude journal. Game changer. Meditate. I want to become better at that. But I do meditate every single night before I go to bed, but I fall asleep. So highly recommend. There's several amazing guided meditations on YouTube. And then also like just silencing your mind, connecting to your breath, and just like taking 20 minutes every day to do that, even if it's 5, even if it's 1, that's a start. That'll help raise your vibe. Because then you're finding your heart center again, and you're connecting to your inner warrior god or goddess. Take a bath. Oh my God, I just got to take a bath yesterday for the first time in like 2 years, because when I moved to Chicago, I had a walk-in shower for my first apartment. And then the one I have right now, the bath is not in good shape. So I haven't been able to take one yet until yesterday. And then I was like, yes! And I have to tell you, like, I woke up today and that like literally changed my life. That changed my life, that bath. Baths are underrated. Ceremonies are underrated. Like if it feels like a ceremony, like it's just like some you time, just to like put some music on, light a candle, put your crystals out if you have them, whatever. And just relax, connect back to yourself, your higher self. Baths are underrated. Take a bath, bitch. Okay, take a walk in nature. Only in 2020 did I start to realize that like even the trees had a consciousness and deserved honor and respect and are just as much a beautiful being as I am. Like I didn't get nature like I do now. And if you guys don't get it yet, try taking a walk outside and just connecting and just feeling the energy of it. It'll really calm you down. It'll really calm down your anxiety, okay? Fresh air, that kind of goes out with taking a walk, but since like I've been living in my boss's house, I'm kind of like, man, there are days that I don't go outside, and that's like underrated how much that really can help you feel better. And I know that January in Chicago gets a lot of hate, but honestly, the air feels really cold and crisp and fresh. And I would just highly recommend breathing that shit in, because in August it's gonna be humid as hell. Oxygen literally like activates our DNA, and that's one of the things about wearing a mask, that they didn't want our DNA activated, so they have us wearing masks outside, which I never do. I only wear a mask if I'm in a store or something. Okay, so breathing is like a great way to raise your vibe also. Breathing deep and consciously. Oh no! The table moved. I'm gonna leave that in because that's just the real life. That's just what happens, I guess. Jesus. These rich things in this house, I like would never have a table that moved on its own. Okay. Compassion for all beings, whether it's Trump, whether it's the people that abused you, whether it's your ex, whether it's your enemy, I don't care. Like, find a way to be love for all beings. And girl, you're doing good. Okay, you're more than on your way. Okay, the best way to raise your vibe, like hands down, see, this is the thing, is like you can eat their high vibe foods and you can, you know, you can breathe and you can take a bath and those things are great and they're awesome, but literally the best way to raise your vibe, the biggest shackles to release in that ocean analogy is shadow work, is going and healing your inner child, is figuring out your triggers, is figuring out why they trigger you, is confronting every single thing in your life and every single person in your life that you need to confront, every single fear that you need to confront. If you want to know like about shadow work, we'll do a whole nother video on that, but that's the key to your ascension. That's the key to your heaven on earth, is you're not like, you have to do it. You have to do it. It's going to happen. And the universe will make it happen if you don't go willingly. So I would suggest making a list of all of your fears and then just thinking why you might be afraid of them, or journaling on it, and then finding a way to start confronting them. I mean, it requires courage. It requires you to grow some balls, and like, I've faced some crazy fears in the last couple of years, and it was the key to my freedom. It's all I can say, and I just couldn't be more grateful that I did that shadow work. So shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. Look it up, read about it. You need to do it. Okay, limit substances. Right now my guides have me off. Well, I've been off alcohol since July, which is crazy, man. It's crazy. Limit substances. I'm off coffee. My guys have me off coffee right now. They have me off weed right now. They have me off dairy right now. They have me off a lot of things right now. And they want me to do that because they want me to know that I can create anything, any energy that I need, and I can feel better than ever without any help from any external source. They have me working on all of my attachments, even to my twin flame, my beautiful twin flame Jonah. So we're spending a lot of time apart right now because we need to realize that we don't need each other to survive on our own, to get through even the darkest parts of this whole thing. Normally I would be like really stressed out without Jonah during like a crazy time going on outside my door, but honestly, I just trust. I just have a lot of trust that the universe put me exactly where I needed to be, and it was in my boss's house all alone during this crazy time in January, and they also had me off substances for a reason during this crazy time in January. That's all I'm gonna say. So basically, you could fast. Honestly, eating 3 times a day is something that the dark forces of this world programmed us into thinking was a good idea. We don't need a lot of food like we think that we do. And I had a food addiction. I still struggle with my food addiction. That's like my biggest addiction problem, I would say, is food. Always has been. And it doesn't have to be anymore. I think I'm really having some major breakthroughs with it as of late. But fasting is highly recommended. And if you kind of take a look at all religions, like fasting is a thing. So just give it a try and see what happens. I can channel the best when, and hear my guides the best when I've been fasting for a few days, or, you know, not eating for a few days, but like eating very little, you know, between certain windows. Okay. And then last thing is just like do what makes your soul happy. Dance. I dance every day. Listen to your favorite music. Make your music, do what you want, like do what makes your soul happy. It could be anything. There is no light or dark thing. It could be anything. Whatever makes you feel like amazing, do it. Do it. Lose track of time. Get lost in that thing. Just try it. and just turn off the news and just go get lost in your activity. I love to like color women right now. That's my thing. I don't know, man. I'm just like starting to get to know like all these different parts of me. I'm like, oh, hello. I like the divine feminine just as much as any man might. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so I'm like coloring and making all these different women for my walls. I'm gonna decorate my walls with them in my next apartment. And that's what I spend my time doing while the world's going crazy, and it's a good time. It's a great time, guys. Okay. Once you raise your frequency, you will gain access to new truths, new realities, and you will attract your heaven on earth. So the higher you go, the more you're gonna have clarity, the more you're gonna see what's really real and what's not. Your truth is constantly gonna be changing. Your beliefs are constantly gonna be changing and evolving. The higher you go, the easier it gets. 5D is easy. It's not about the war between the angel and devil on your shoulder. The 4D is. The bridge to the 5D can be very conflicting, very like you feel like you're the tightrope and you're getting fought over by the light and the dark. But the 5D is not like that. You rise above all those dark attachments. You start to really flow and just kind of navigate with that frequency detection ability where you just kind of like, what's the lighter choice here? Am I moving in love or am I moving in fear? And every now moment, if you ask yourself, am I moving in love or am I moving in fear? That's it. It's really that simple. And you start to gain access to new realities, and your hologram, everything you attract, because you have this love vibrating and emanating from within you, everything you attract outwardly is love, is ease, is smooth, is a good time. Even if the world outside your door, even if your friend next door is having a terrible time, you're still going to be having and vibrating in love and creating more love for yourself. So it's just a lot easier in the 5th dimension if you raise your vibe. And you can hear your guides. So that's what I was going to say is the higher you go, the more you can hear your guides, the more you can they just kind of give you a little nudge in this way, and you kind of just go with it and try it out, and you get rewarded every single time that you listen to something they suggest. They become clearer, you trust in them more, and it just becomes easier. It just becomes smoother. You may lose friends or jobs or things as you vibe higher because you may no longer be a match to their frequency. So that's just kind of how it works. A lot of times when we go on this spiritual journey, people start to distance from us. We might lose a job, things might start falling apart, or relationship, because the frequencies just no longer are matching up. And it really is just like science. Frequencies have to be a match. So don't be alarmed if that happens when you start to become happy. And it kind of is a journey of realizing. It is a little sad at first, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, my year of 2020 was kind of all over the place with like, as I started to go higher, people started to drop like flies. And that was hard for me because it kind of triggered this past life fear of being unloved, of being distanced from, of being canceled, even in this lifetime. So it's like, it's gonna happen, it's just part of the process. But then if you just go through it, because you gotta go through the dark to get to the light, you really start to just feel like you don't need anything or anyone. And as soon as you start to get to that point, you start to attract your soul family. And that love, imagine getting loved like how you love by other people. Like, I didn't know that was even a thing for a long time, and now it's starting to happen, and I just feel like $1,000,000. So yes. And as we do this, guys, as we raise our frequency, we are emitting pillars of light out into the collective. These pillars of light are fighting back against those pillars of dark. And we are literally saving the planet just by making ourselves happy, just by following our hearts. And if you want to help save the planet, and I know that you do because that's why you're here, incarnated at this very special time to be alive on planet Earth, that's all you have to do. All you have to do is tune out the media, tune out the darkness, and feel into the love. Do what makes your soul happy, and you will be doing your part to save this planet. How incredible is that? We are so powerful, and even I fully do not comprehend how powerful we are yet. Oh my gosh. Okay, so last thing I'm gonna say is that when I went through this portal on the 21st, the thing that I really noticed the most difference within me was that I had this detection ability. And I can kind of sense when there is an entity around. And I know this because every single time that I feel fear, even for a split second, anxiety, regret, depression, nervousness, I don't know, anything that's not peace, love, understanding, trust, hope, anything that's not vibrating that way, it doesn't feel that way, I know that's not my truth. So immediately when I start to feel anxious, I take a minute and I'm like, wait a minute. No, not today, Satan, not today, Satan. And I'm like, what's my truth? And then I'm like, oh, my truth is I trust. Like, for example, I was really getting nervous with like everything that happened at Capitol Hill. I was getting nervous like that the internet was gonna get shut down, like who knows what's gonna happen next. And I was getting nervous because I'm all alone in my boss's house. Like, I'm not with my twin flame. I'm not with Jonah. I'm so, like, he's my rock. So I'm just like, man, what? And I started to get freaked out. And then I was like, wait a minute. That's not my truth. That's not my truth. And I said, entity alert. And then I said, what's my truth? And my truth is that I trust. I trust that my guides put me here, that the stars aligned so that I could be completely alone and off substances during the month of January because things were going to be crazy. And I'm here and I am protected. And nobody can fuck with me. And nothing, no entity. And I love those entities because they're teaching me. They're helping my evolution. Ultimately, the darkness is bringing us into the light. And so we need to say thank you for it. But anyways, guys, with that, I don't want to ramble too much. It's already been over an hour, so I am going to get going. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope we get to do this many more times. I may be repetitive with some of the things that I talk about, but I think that it's important to repeat things. It's important to really start to understand these lessons. I love you so much, and I just want to say I have so much compassion for you and what you are going through right now, because all of us are going through it right now. Just to be alive right now on the earth plane, it really is an intense experience regardless. And we feel everything. We feel somebody's heart getting broken across the world. That's how this works. We're all connected. We are all one. So I feel you. I see you. I love you. And I'm here for you. If you guys need anything, reach out. I am going to start offering intuitive guidance sessions for $22 for a half hour, and we're gonna see what the price is for an hour. Maybe $44, but I might change it depending. But I'm gonna do like video chat intuitive guidance for you guys. I love to do it. I do the best channeling when I am in conversation with somebody for some reason. I'm just in the flow. And especially when I have no attachment to you, like where I don't know much about what's going on in your life day to day. I can do really good for my friends and family, but I can do even better when it's just some random person. It's great. It's because I have no attachment. So the information tends to flow in easier. I want to be of assistance to you. This is what I want to be doing for a living, so I appreciate it. Any donations are great, and I love you guys. I just love you. I just want to love you through this. It is going to be an intense few years. It already is intense right now, but I am here to love you through it. All right, and with that, I love you. Have a wonderful week, and raise your frequency.